Welcome back, Mr. Guys. It's time for another manga chapter review. Welcome once again. This is going to be on SINo chapter 5. Gosh, the story intensifies for sure, and we're finally going to get a little bit more understanding of what's going on of the game. So Alice basically is being thrown into this murderous game, bloodthirsty game, fairy tale led, and we don't know their names. Again, we go by these code names that they're given, and this one is Alice, or actually she's not Alice, this is Red Riding Hood. But anyways, this is volume 2. I do have four other chapter reviews on this series. It is a great series. If you have not ever checked it out, go check out my other videos after you watch this one, and you guys will like it. Before anything, guys, if you haven't done so by now, subscribe to my channel. You guys can follow me on social media and other places by checking the description below. You guys can also support the channel by commenting and liking the video, because that helps tremendously. And if you are new, then one, consider subscribing, but two, welcome yourself in the comment section. I love to talk to new people, and I am probably one of few YouTubers that still reviews chapters and volumes. I know it's not a highly demanded stuff of video reviews, but I still do it because I really enjoy it. It's a hobby. Doesn't get the bills paid, but I really enjoy doing it, so why not, right? So here we go. SINo is chapter 5. We have Alice at the end of chapter 4 at the edge of the building about to commit suicide, and Pinocchio, which is another code name of another one, he goes back to keep an eye on her, right? That's the instructions he was given, and the nurses are freaking out because one of their members, one of their persons are missing, and this is Alice. So they're freaking out. They get Pinocchio. Pinocchio freaks out himself, and he realizes what might be happening. And again, you might wonder, like, why did he come to the conclusion of, oh, she might be committing suicide? Well, she was actually tied down for a few days. The nurses decided to remove the restraints. But two, the reason that all this was going on is, again, you go back to volume 1, her family was killed horrifically in front of her. So it would make sense for someone wanting to commit suicide, and in this case she does. She wants to end her life. She doesn't want to continue living the life that she has, and don't blame her at all. I mean, who would? So she clicks start game, as we saw in volume 4. I'm sorry, in chapter 4, and then in chapter 5 nothing really happens, so she throws herself from the building. Now time does stop, and what ends up happening is we get our two popular and famous puppets again show up, and they basically explain that she's going to go into this rituals and series of events that she's gonna have to basically win. They don't really tell her that she's gonna have to kill, but let's be honest, if you've read up to this point, you know that at some point she's gonna have to kill someone. So she basically, one, has to survive, be the last survivor, but two, that this grants her a wish to reconstruct the world in any way that she wants. Now, I think the way they word this, it like this in the beginning, is important, because she doesn't understand what's going on. So they kind of rephrase it for her and go like, if you win, you can bring your family back to life, right? And I feel like the more we read, the more we're going to be stuck to the idea of that's the wish that she can fulfill. But in reality is anything she wants, any way she wants to reform the world, she can. So even if she has persons that are not her foes helping her, like we have Pinocchio here, she can possibly still save him from a horrific death. So just keep that in mind. We then see her trying to freak out, you know, because she has to now save her life from committing suicide. She's mid-air, she's about to fall into the pavement, and Pinocchio luckily is there and is able to save her. He has the power of like growing branches, so it's not really sure where that came from, but he has that power, which means Alice herself is gonna have powers. They go back into the hospital, and obviously Pinocchio's leader, the girl that we saw in the beginning, she's freaking out, like, how can you have done this? Let her out of your sight. But now they all realize what's going on, that she is part of the game as well, and she says, so tell me, how can I bring my family back to life? How do I play this game of theirs? And that is the end of this chapter, which is obviously alluding to us getting a little bit more understanding, hopefully in the next chapter, of how the game works. So I think there's 3 more chapters on this volume, maybe 4 more, plus I have the other volume with me as well, which will be part of the manga haul this month, so make sure you check that out. I'm excited to see what happens next, guys. If you haven't checked this series out, it's a good series. Like I said, I have 4 chapter reviews already, so check that out. This is where the foundation of the story is, where you have to be careful and remember all the details. Like I said, that one detail is she can change the world. That doesn't mean that she gets that one wish. She can change the wish as well. Secondly, she can make it where this does not exist, and everything's back to normal to the beginning, right? So it could pretty much, change the thing. The dolls even say, if you want to destroy the world as well, that's up to you. You can say, I want to destroy the world, right? So that's one thing to consider. Second thing is, she does need to be the winner, which means Pinocchio and this other girl who's helping her, they at one point have to lose. Does that equal death? I don't think so, at least not to this point, but it could very much equal to that. So hopefully they die in the hands of foes and not in the hands of Alice, which will throw a whole psychological thing against her again as well, but we'll just have to see. For now, great series. Go check it out if you haven't. Thank you guys so much for the support, and guys, like always, don't be strangers. See you guys.